Chris and I have been on our Plexus products 8 months now, and we decided it's time to make an updated health testimony video to share with everybody how much we love it and why we love it so much. Our whole marriage, we've been on a health journey. We love to exercise, we love to feed our bodies well, but of course that's always been a challenge because we also love food, we've loved junk food, we love partying as we call it. So we'll tell you about that more in a minute, but a lot of it started when we started researching a couple of things. We started really learning about the benefits of keeping your body in an alkaline state and how helpful it is not to have an acidic state in your body, how much it reduces inflammation and decreases likelihood for disease. And then we also really had our minds blown a few years ago when we started researching gut health and how it is linked to so many things, how autoimmune disorders, allergies, diabetes, even mental and neurological things. That was something that we really became passionate about learning about and tried to adjust our diets to feed our gut and help promote the growth of healthy bacteria. So enter Plexus. We started hearing about it. We were very intrigued because we knew enough to know that there was something to this. And when we started our products, I don't know how many of you know this, but I've shared very publicly that I have struggled for a long time with disordered eating. And for me, that displayed itself with extremely restrictive behavior and binge behavior. So that was something in my life that was a struggle for a long time. It was very hard, and I pretty much was certain that there was nothing that could ever make it easier. I fully relied on the Lord, and He has been bringing me through that battle for a long time. But as good as I was doing in certain seasons, it was always a struggle, and nothing would ever make it easier. I was just having to basically live by sheer force of will and do as good of a job as I could do to stay healthy. So when we started taking Plexus, actually before we started taking it, Chris, I'm going to show him to you. There he is.
Hello.
Chris wanted to look up the ingredients first on the medical databases in CPI and PubMed because he is a physician assistant. He's very research driven. He tends to be skeptical and is not just going to believe anything he hears. So he looked up the ingredients and a few of the Plexus products we were interested in trying. And do you want to tell everybody what you said when you read those studies?
Well, after a while, I was reading those various articles, and I thought, man, I want to have this stuff in my body pretty much at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally said, oh wow, I want to have this stuff in my body 24/7. So that was a good sign. We went ahead and ordered our stuff, and about a week passed, and I noticed two things. I noticed that I did not have the munchies all day. If there are any other stay-at-home moms out here who could relate, I would just wander into the kitchen every hour or so, ready to find something else to eat. I was hungry or I was bored or whatever. I was just always thinking about when my next meal or snack was going to be. And after that first week, I just realized, like, wow, I haven't thought about food today. I haven't, thought about when lunch is going to be and wanted to eat lunch at 10:30. So that was interesting. And then I also noticed that my favorite sweets, particularly Ben & Jerry's ice cream, were starting to taste way too sweet to me. To the point where I was thinking, man, I just wish they would make a version of this with half the sugar. This is just not fun to eat. And I didn't even make the connection. I just had that thought until I thought, oh my goodness, what if it's the Plexus? But I totally suspected placebo effect, which I'm sure a lot of you have also done. You just think, oh my gosh, well it's because I know I'm taking something that's supposed to decrease my sugar cravings, so that's probably all in my mind. So I asked Chris if he had noticed anything that in his first week too. So,
well, for me, I noticed that when I was hungry, I wasn't ravenous like I typically had been. And I thought placebo effect too, just because after a few days I was really perceiving that. But as time passed, that was pretty consistent, and so it was nice to be able to use that to my advantage, and that has made keeping weight down and below my college level weights very easy in the past several months.
Yeah. So we determined it probably wasn't placebo effect because we were both noticing it and hadn't said anything to the other about it. That was the short-term impact, and that has persisted. I mean, 8 months later, and I am still loving that fact that it is not a struggle anymore. Now, I am not saying that Plexus cures your eating disorder, because goodness knows that was an emotional battle for me and a mental battle for me as well as physical. But what I've learned is that there are so many physical disadvantages we have when our gut bacteria are out of balance. We have yeast in our body that is screaming for sugar, causing those crashes and those cravings. It's amazing how much easier that battle can be when the physical component is in balance, and I have been so thankful. So some other things that we're really thankful for are that I have had a lot of hormonal issues ever since my double mastectomy 2 years ago. I don't really want to go into the details of that because some hormonal issues can be a bit TMI, but I really am happy to talk about it. So if you ever want to message me and find out how some of that was playing out, I'm really happy to share. Just it's a little bit too much information. But I was so thankful to see after a few months some of those issues begin to regulate and balance out, and I could really tell a difference. And then another huge thing we noticed is our family has not struggled with allergies. There's so much in your gut that's linked to allergies. And so to have to never give our daughters Claritin this season, never having to use Benadryl this season on anyone in our family was like complete opposite of last year. Another amazing thing is that we started giving our daughters ProBio 5. They were really having issues with constipation, and the doctor had said to use Miralax with them. And unfortunately, that was not doing much, and it wasn't getting to the root of the problem anyway. Even if it did make them go, it was not getting to the root of why they couldn't. And so within a day of adding ProBio 5 to our daughter's diet, that problem has been gone. So thankful. The other thing I'm really thankful for is that because of my mastectomy, I'm not able to breastfeed. I was able to breastfeed our first child, but I will not be able to breastfeed any of our future children. And with the research I've done, I know how important that is for their lifetime of immunity, how it protects them from disease, how it protects them from even things like asthma. You wouldn't believe the connection, and it all comes back to your gut health and your immune system. So just to know that I have found something that is accessible and easy, and I can give it to my girls and feel good about it, and know that they're being given those advantages that I can't give them personally, is a wonderful feeling. So I think that covers most of why we're so excited, why we love Plexus, and of course, surely you have seen, our health testimony barely scratches the surface. We've been able to share stories of friends getting off of insulin shots, friends who have autoimmune disorders, that those symptoms are going away. It's just the best feeling in the world to be a part of bringing change to those people's lives when they had lost hope. So we love it, and we're excited to share this update. Say bye, Chris.
See you later.